To have you guys here tonight. I know some of you, and some of you I've never met before, and it's just such a beautiful time to share this together, talking about energy on the new moon as well, and also just sharing this beautiful evening together, to welcome in the real energies of 2020. I know it's been it's been it was quite a crazy 2020. So hopefully this real grounding energy of this new moon is helping you guys to integrate and process everything that that you might be feeling, or what, what has been experienced throughout 2020 as well. I also love the new moon because I think it's a really good opportunity, if you didn't get your intentions done, or resolutions or goals or whatever, and have a think about what you want for 2021, it's a good time to do that today as well. So I would love to know, if you want to let me know just whereabouts you're from. You can pop it in the chat as well. And if you've got a specific intention of what you might be hoping to get out of tonight, or if you do have any questions already, just pop them in the chat. And have any aha moments, or insights or anything like that, just let me know as well, if something's resonating too. So just to start off with, the way tonight will work is we're going to have a little bit of a chat and discussion, and then we're going to move into a beautiful healing as well at the end. So you guys will be able to experience Reiki from distance. So typically in Reiki, we learn distance healing at the practitioner level. So that's from level 2. And I will talk about all the levels of Reiki in a moment as well. But from a receiving end, the beauty is that you can receive at any time. So you don't have to have studied at all. So you guys are all able to just soak up the vibes, the beautiful, loving vibes tonight as well. So hopefully you'll stick around. And if you do need to head off or whatever, just know that you can watch the replay, but your energy if you guys signed up and registered to this, the way that it works is that your energy is going to be included in this container, so in the healing as well. So just so you guys know. Thanks, Selma, you're from the UK. How amazing. Must be early over there. Beautiful. And in California, beautiful. Yeah, awesome. We're going to talk so much about love. Absolutely. I love it. So let's start off talking. I was just talking and introducing you guys to the new moon energy. And the reason I was making a point of that as well is because we hear the word energy so much, right? We really do. And the thing is that our world is actually mostly made up of energy. And although we understand this at some level, and I know we all, did a bit of science at school and that sort of stuff, and you probably all hear about it, when we start really playing around and working with energy, we actually get to this point where you realize that it really is everything. It is absolutely everything that the whole world is made up of, fundamentally, including ourselves. So what that means is that 99.99999% of everything is actually nothing. Nothing, completely nothing, which is so weird and hard to understand. But it's so powerful as well. This nothingness is actually something, because we all feel it, right? I mean, you feel the energy of the moon. Does anyone feel like they've, thumbs up, or in the chat, you feel like you're feeling the energy of the new moon the last couple of days, or even today? This real grounding kind of energy, right? That's real. Even if you feel like, or we're told that it's nothing, you know that it's actually something. And when we talk about Reiki and energetics from a metaphysical perspective, we think of this as unconditional love. Actually, that's what is the source energy that sustains us all, is this infinite wisdom of unconditional love. And so when we think about it in terms of that, we realize just how powerful that nothingness really is. It really has the power to transform and the power to change. And I wanted to introduce you guys to energetics, because it really is the thing that is absolutely life-changing. When we really start understanding the world in this way, in terms of vibration, and we start working with vibration and frequencies, and we, rather than focusing so much on the physical, which is what we are, I guess, accustomed to, you know, culturally, society, and someone's from Indonesia as well. So wherever you are in the world, I'm sure that you're in this, you know, in this same culture where we really value the tangible, right? The material world, the physical world. So I'm asking you guys tonight just to stay open-minded a little bit. And I know some of you already have studied Reiki, but for those of you who haven't especially, or coming in for a bit of a refresh, I want you just to stay open to the idea that, yeah, our world is actually more than just the physical. It is more than just what I can touch or what I can see. It's actually much more than that. It's really much more about what I can feel. And you all experience this every day, all day. Like I just used the example of the moon energy, but what about when you guys walk into a room and it makes you feel really flat? Or the opposite of that, it makes you feel really high and you get really excited and you see your best friend, or when you see someone that you don't like. What about when you see an ex? You know, how does that make you feel? So that's the difference between frequencies and different energies, right? So some energies make us feel higher and some energies make us feel lower. And this is really important to understand, because when we can have that awareness, then the next step is to actually realize we're in complete control of it. That's the magic. That is the absolute magic. And so you're probably wondering, well, how can I possibly control my energy? You know, when I go to work every day and I have to deal with my boss and they make me feel like crap, and how do I control that? And how can I protect it or shift it? The reality is that we always have these choices, right? And this energy that I'm talking about is consciousness, and consciousness can be changed. It's really up to us to change that. It's just that our society and culture and the way that we're grown, you know, we're brought up to believe in the physical and the tangible, this really old world style of science, is that it disempowers us and makes us think that we're actually not in control of it, that we have zero control over our health and our well-being on all levels, right? On all levels. But the reality is that we have complete control over it. You have control over your physical health, your mental health, your social health, your sexual health, your spiritual health, emotional, mental, all parts of who you are. Every single part of it. And Reiki is a type of way to work with this energy. It's an energetic modality. So it's not the only energetic modality, but it is a really beautiful one. And there are so many, and I'd like to introduce you to Reiki in particular tonight. And we'll probably dabble into crystals, because when you do my courses, you also learn crystal healing as well. And I have found that working with energy, both through Reiki and crystals, completely changed my life. Completely changed my life. You know, for a very long time, I was going through a really dark period of my life, had bulimia, depression, anxiety, all through my 20s, so the full 10 years of my 20s. And then I was always seeking that help, you know, that assistance, like trying to find someone to fix me, because that's what we think we need, right? We need to find the right doctor, the right person, the right practitioner, the right therapist, whatever it might be, to fix us. or the right medication, whatever it might be. We're always looking for something outside of us to make us feel better. But when I realized that it didn't matter how many different therapists I went to see, or how many different groups I went to, or different practitioners that were very much in the Western medicine, I just didn't seem to be shifting anything. I could analyze myself and I knew exactly why I was the way that I was, but I couldn't change it. And I felt like there was still something really stuck. I was like, what's going on here? It feels like I feel really stuck in this way of being. And mentally, I had this desire to not want to be like that anymore. Right? That's my desire, that I had the vision of this is who I know that I really am, and I know that I can be this person, but I couldn't actually move forward in that direction. And then I found energy healing, and I started practicing with my teacher, and I found immediately, I had no idea what she was doing, but I was seeing her really regularly, fortnightly, for a good 12 months to 18 months. And I realized that I stopped feeling the way that I was feeling, that I actually started making more conscious choices, that I was way more calmer. The things that used to really bother me and trigger me just weren't triggering me anymore. But my awareness was so raised, it was really heightened in a whole different way. And what I found is that I could really control my energy and control how I wanted my life to be. And that was a massive shift for me. And my whole life really changed. I met my now husband. I, started working in a job that I really loved. Then I moved into healing modality, but I was working a job that I loved. I moved house, like everything started really blossoming in my life at that point in time. And then I decided that I would actually start learning Reiki. And I only decided to learn because my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, wasn't a very good sleeper. And I thought, oh, Reiki saved me. So I can learn how to do Reiki, and then I'll save him, I'll help him. I'm going to improve his life. And I love telling this story, especially before you try to study Reiki or you're interested in studying Reiki, because it's really important to understand that Reiki, first and foremost, is a self-healing tool. It's a tool of self-development and spiritual development of the self, not for others. So many people think that, oh, I want to be a healer, so I'm going to study Reiki and then I'll be able to help people and I'll change the world. But in the reality, right, we need to change ourselves to change the world. Because we are all connected and we're a big part of the collective. And this is energy as well. When you learn Reiki, you start to realize that, oh, yeah, if I'm not healing, if I'm not on this path of self-growth and I'm not doing my own work, I actually am not doing anyone any favors. If my cup isn't full, or my self-care isn't there and my self-growth isn't happening, and I'm stagnant and I'm not doing anything about it, and I'm not growing and moving forward in the direction that I need to be, that's reconnecting me to my truth, and I'm just being there for everybody else, it doesn't work like that. It absolutely doesn't work like that. So first and foremost, you need to show up as your own self-healer, your own practitioner for yourself. So I quickly learned that that wasn't the reason to learn Reiki. And it wasn't until I learned Reiki that I actually realized just how powerful it was. And I could really, I was enjoying my sessions, but it took it to a whole nother level. It took it to a way deeper level. And this is when I started to really play around with the energetics. And I realized just how much of our world and how much of everything of who we are and what we are, and our complete environment around us. Everything you have, everything that you feel, you think, that you do, it's all about energy and vibration. That's what we need to think about in terms of vibration. If we are not a match for what we want energetically, nothing happens. There's always this miss. It's like a magnet. It's like the rule of magnetism, right? It's so you need to be at a certain level to attract exactly what it is that you're wanting in your life. You also need to be up here to be the person that you want to be in your life, to have what you want to have, to feel what you want to feel. It's all about vibration. And when we start realizing that, you realize just how powerful this work is. And you don't have to get there through Reiki, but you absolutely need to do some kind of practice to work with energy. And Reiki is just that beautiful, beautiful modality to do so. So why Reiki? It has so many amazing benefits. It's really interesting. I've been teaching now for nearly 4 years and nearly 400 students. And I have to say that it's completely unique to the student. So their energy and the benefits that they reap are completely unique to them, which is amazing. I've seen students who have improved their relationships with their partners, who have just been able to sleep better, who don't have headaches anymore, who are able to manage pain. Helen's nodding her head because I'm talking about her. Who have been able to improve their sexual life as well, who have been able to improve their career and their job aspects, realizing their soul purpose and following their path. And that's not always about becoming a practitioner or Reiki healer, but it's about just reconnecting to who you truly are. And that is profound. That's amazing. I've had students talk about how they've just reconnected to nature, just feeling completely like they are real gifts of Mother Earth. How beautiful to be able to walk through nature and actually feel like, wow, yeah, this is with all the wonder and awe of a child, that childlike wonder and awe. Remember when you were a little kid and you used to walk through and just be amazed by everything around you? This is what Reiki does. This is the power of it. And it doesn't always have really big impacts that we can, it's not about always the big stuff like, oh, it made me quit my job, or it helped me, manifest a car, or whatever it might be. But a lot of the time it's just those really small day-to-day improvements, like someone passed away who was close to me and I was able to really manage my grief and let go of pain. Or I went through a breakup, and the other day I had a student tell me that she had a car accident, and she remembers just even a year ago that she would have been hysterical. And she said, Loretta, I think it's all the Reiki I'm doing. I was so calm. So it's the little things. It's a little day-to-day improvements, that managing stress and anxiety and things like that. So it's really unique to everyone, and Reiki will meet you wherever you're at. So if you are at this kind of vibration here, at this level of awareness and consciousness, it will meet you there. But there's a bit of a secret with Reiki in that when you do a course, you are accessing a higher vibration, right? You're accessing this frequency of unconditional love. Now, unconditional love, you can imagine, is a super high frequency, right? Super high, because it makes you feel really good. So it's a really high frequency. And in order for you to get there, it needs to kind of readjust your vibration a little bit. So that's what happens during the course, is that you go through what we call a traditional attunement or initiation. And during that sacred ritual, which has been passed on through the lineages, you're actually readjusting. It's like the radio frequency. It's like you're readjusting the frequency in order for you to access that vibration where you're needing to get to. And that's one of the beautiful things about Reiki. So as soon as you sign up for a course, it's like the universe knows you've signed up and you've said yes. So what happens is the transformation starts straight away. You start getting triggers, things start happening in your life. Maybe you start feeling like you're not gelling with the people that you used to anymore, or things that you thought you were interested or you liked don't feel like the same anymore. You feel yourself growing, going through a real growth phase. Maybe an old ex shows up or something like that. Or you get a call from an old boss, things like that might trigger you and really shift you and test you. Things like that start to happen. And what happens here is that this is all happening for you, right, to bring it to the surface, because it knows that during a study and in the classes, what's going to happen is that you're going to have to shift through this stuff. And the attunement's going to help you shift through that in order to access that really super high frequency of love, of unconditional love. So what happens when you're attuned to Reiki is that the teacher channels through Reiki and passes it on to you. And so that then you're able to then channel it yourself, your very own self. So it becomes this really empowering modality that you're able to use for whatever the hell you want to. If you want to use it just for yourself, it's so beautiful. I was talking to a client today, one of my students who was thinking about doing level 2. And she said to me, she did level 1 a year ago, and she said, Loretta, I might sound really selfish, but I've just been doing so much self-healing. I haven't even been using it on anyone else. And I was so excited for her, because it takes so much courage for us to do that to spend that time on ourselves and to honor ourselves like that, to really put our own selves first, right? Our self-care and our self-love. And now she's feeling ready. Now she's, given herself that time, and she's feeling ready now to share it with the world. And she wants to take that next step. But there is nothing selfish about self-love or self-care. It is not an indulgence. It is a complete necessity. It is a practice. And Reiki is a beautiful practice of self-care and self-love. And it is something that I know that one of the most beautiful things about it is that even if you don't love yourself and you feel really far away from getting to that point of self-love, Reiki actually almost like cheats you into believing it. Because what happens is, in your self practices, is you're actually channeling this unconditional love for yourself. Even if you're not believing it, you're in this vibration of love frequently, right? Consistently. And if that's happening, then over time, you can't help but become a vibrational match to that belief, right? To that, what you're doing, to your actions. So what happens is you start to believe that, yeah, I'm lovable. I'm so lovable. I feel it. I feel universe loves me. Why wouldn't I love me? I feel that day in, day out. And I have to say, it was has had such a profound impact on my life in that way as well. And I see it with my clients all the time, with my students all the time. So even if you're not feeling like, I don't believe that, I still look at myself and I still have judgment and all that kind of stuff. But when we are practicing Reiki regularly and you're practicing love regularly, you become good at it. You become better at it. And like I said, you almost cheat your way into believing it. And then it becomes your reality, actually becomes your reality. So in terms of learning Reiki and learning Reiki with me as well, so every lineage is a little bit different. And the beautiful thing about Reiki is that it is open to everyone to learn. It's just important that you really resonate with your teacher and that you resonate with the lineage that and the path that you're taking. Now, my courses are different in that my students don't just graduate with a Reiki certificate. My students are there because they really want to transform. They want to do the work. And that's where I meet my students at. So I want you to show up, and I'm ready to support you through that. If you're willing to do the work, then I'm there to help you. And so the support is long after, is there long after the courses as well. So you join a community of beautiful, nourishing, supportive, and really empowering community of other students. Many are just on their own self-healing journey, and many are also practitioners. So we regularly have masterclasses, additional training. I bring in guests from outside as well for further training for you guys as well. We have meetups and catch-ups. You get discounts to events. You have opportunities to work with me and to be promoted. And there's so much love in that group. And whenever you have questions or anything like that, there is always support around from myself and other students as well. And the most beautiful thing that I've seen as well is that so many of my students have become really good friends. And I love that. And that makes my heart so full, because I know when I started this journey, I didn't really tell anyone about it. I don't know about you guys, but, you know, when I started really going on my spiritual journey and my growth, I didn't know what to tell people. You know, I didn't know how to talk about it. I thought I was a bit weird, maybe. I used to be into it all when I was younger, but I really stopped all of that, you know, in my late teens, and kind of found alcohol and boys, and, you know, kind of lost my way from all of that. And then to come back to all of that, I felt, you know, I was working in this really corporate environment, and and a lot of my friends weren't into that stuff. So I think it's really beautiful that you can come into a community and be able to meet other people as well. Globally now, I'm excited to say I've got students globally, which is so exciting. And I've got some of my students here tonight, and so I would love to introduce to you, I've got 3 in particular who are also going to help me with the healing tonight, which is so beautiful. So you guys are going to have 4 Reiki practitioners, all sending all the beautiful, loving vibes, high vibes to you guys tonight on this beautiful new moon. And so I'm going to let them just introduce themselves to you and share their story too. So I might start with Laura. Laura, do you... Hello.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Awesome. Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit about my journey. So I started learning Reiki with Loretta in 2018. And it was at a point in my life where I was feeling really lost, feeling really stuck. I had been through a breakup a few months before, and it was really heartbreaking. So I think I really lost my sense of self. So I was doing lots of self-development work to try to feel better and try to connect with myself again. So I started getting really into meditation and sound healing and workshops and just reading self-help books and spirituality, and yeah, one thing kind of led to another, and I was following Loretta. I think following all the crystals. I was really into the crystals, so learning a lot about that. And then I saw that she was teaching Reiki, and I thought, like, I'd had Reiki before a few times, and I kind of thought that you had to be like a spiritual guru or something to learn it. Like, I didn't know that anyone could learn it. So when I saw that she was offering the course, I was just at this point where I was like, yep, I'm just going to learn it. Like, I just felt really drawn to it, and I was like, I felt really stuck, and I just needed like something else to feel inspired. And I was I was just following these little clues, and I was like, yep, I'm just going to learn it. So it was really just for my own personal healing. And then I ended up going through level 1, level 2. And just as Loretta said, I was faced with many challenges and initiations through that process, which were difficult, but I'm so grateful for that now, because I've got such a stronger sense of self, which is what I really wanted. Like, I know myself. I've got so much more confidence in myself. And yeah, this unconditional love, I guess Reiki is the kind of thing that, like, it's hard to talk about it. You're like, what is it? It's something that's felt. So until you really feel it, then it's hard to understand. So when I started having regular healings and doing my own self practice, I was like, there's something, I don't know what this is. There's something in it. I'm just going to follow it. So I just followed that, my intuition, and then that led me to do my mastership course as well. So I finished my mastership. I did a 7-month journey. So I was seeing Loretta, I think weekly, at that point. And yeah, again, it was just my personal healing. I had lots of blocks, lots of self-doubt, and I just wanted to kind of push through that. So I finished my mastership in April last year, actually. And then even when I finished, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be a practitioner. Like, I just was still doing self-healing. And then throughout COVID and doing distance healings on people and having distance healings myself, I was like, I can't not share this. I can't not share it. I've got this now. I've got to do something with it. So so that's kind of where I am now. And I've just started practicing this month, really. I've just got a little Reiki room now and offering healing. So that's a bit about me.
So awesome. So awesome. Thank you so much, Laura. And it is hard to keep to yourself, isn't it? It's such a gift. It's such a gift. Thank you so much. Helen, did you want to go next?
Oh, Laura, that was really good. I thought, how do I follow that? But same kind of story. Like, I went through a dark space as well. In fact, probably at the start of 2019, I was going through a lot of depression, and this is just not me. And I just put it out there to the universe. I need help. I need help. I didn't want to go on antidepressants or seek the medical alternatives. And then I found a card. I'd had it in my wallet for a while, and it was to a Reiki healer, actually. And so I started there, but bit by bit, I was led to Loretta and Nourished Energy. And from there on, the story just went, it was just an open book the way it went. I went, right, this feels so right for me. I just wanted to keep going, wanted to keep learning more and more. And I thought, that's it, I have to do it. So I did finish my mastership finally, even through COVID. And I'm just in a whole different headspace. And because I'm in such a good place now, I can offer help or offer Reiki to lots of other people, including I did a distance healing to a beautiful lady in Japan and another gentleman in Singapore, and with amazing reaction afterwards. Like, the person in Singapore sort of sat up afterwards. He said, what just happened? He really felt something, and he felt something shift. And it's a growth thing. So here I am in my 60s, and I just feel I'm just getting started here. I just want to keep going, and I have this belief system that I can help others get out of their dark spaces. And Loretta's been amazing at the way she's kind of guided me through, and still guiding me. I'm still asking her questions and finding out answers and how to approach things. But I'm a whole different person to what I was a few years ago. And energetically, like I'm always tuning in with how I'm feeling, and then the consciousness of, oh, why am I thinking that? I don't need to think that anyway, because, you know, I am a complete person and I'm worthy. And whereas I never used to feel very worthy, and Reiki has changed a lot of that sort of thinking for me. So I've started a business. I've registered a business, and it's called Reiki Chiyo, and Chiyo in Japanese is healing. So it's Reiki healing, and very proud, I must say.
So good.
Thanks
So
for
good.
listening.
Oh, thank you so much, Helen. So beautiful. I have to say it really makes my heart full when I am able to bring back my students who I haven't worked with, you know, for a few months now or so. And it's so beautiful to just hear how they're still on the Reiki journey. Like it is, you know, we call it a mastership, and it, you know, don't get me wrong, it's you know, it's pretty hard slog, isn't it, guys? It's you know, it's 20 one-on-one sessions, and each session is like a transmission and activation in itself, and so it is full on. But the reality is that self-mastery, which is what the mastership is all about, is a lifelong commitment, you know, and it's so nice to hear how you guys are still showing up and doing the work. I love it. And Cheryl Lee, thank you so much.
Hi everyone. So I kind of express through movement, and I had my own business after being a personal trainer for 8 years. I kind of pushed myself a little bit too far and started moving towards more gentle movement, and started doing a lot of Pilates, in particular reformer Pilates, and that was a massive healing journey in itself for me. I don't really know how to explain it, but it just was really healing for my body. And this business I had was amazing. I put my whole heart into it and had these amazing clients. And towards the end of 2019, it came to a very abrupt and unexpected end. So I was shattered and completely heartbroken and felt really lost. And I had been following Loretta at that stage for maybe 2 months. And it was about this time last year that I went and did level 1 with Loretta. I didn't really have a lot of experience with Reiki. I knew what it was. I'd never actually had a session myself, but I just was really drawn to her and what she did. And I really just knew that I needed some deep healing. So I booked myself in and I went and did level 1, and I started on my self-healing journey from then. And I did a lot of Loretta's little online workshops in between. And then it came to about June of this year, and we were in lockdown, and I felt really disconnected from myself. And so I reached out to Loretta again, and I decided to do level 2. And I felt really good after that. And then all of a sudden, I just got this massive pull to keep going. So I pretty much enrolled into level 3 the next week. And then the same thing happened. I was like, all right, I'm ready to keep going into my mastership. And initially I had no intention of going that way. I just got this massive pull to keep going. And Loretta is completely right. Like, the more that you practice self-healing, the more that you just have these shifts within your body and these beautiful experiences. I don't really know how to explain it any other way. And Reiki is just so much more than I ever imagined it would be. And it has just been so beneficial for me in so many ways. And like Laura, I wasn't really sure if I was going to share it either. But just the benefits and the connection back to myself and that journey back to my heart and to my purpose was just too good not to share with other people. And so, yeah, I started sharing while we were in lockdown last year after I did level 3. And it's just amazing, the feedback that you get from your clients. And I remember one in particular who was actually a Pilates client of mine, and she was having a really hard time. So I reached out to her and I said, would you like to try a session? And she has a science background, is a science teacher, really not a believer of anything spiritual. And she just had the most amazing experience. She didn't know how to explain what she experienced, but she described it as just a feeling of being held and a complete healing experience. And it was just beautiful. It was amazing. And she actually wrote me a testimonial, which is just mind-blowing. But to have someone who is, you know, just not in particularly open to anything energetic and has, you know, a very strong science background, and have that amazing experience and be open to sharing that was just amazing. Yeah, so I mean, if you are thinking about it and if you're sitting on the fence and you're not really sure what to expect and you're open to a really, the only thing I can say is jump in and do it, because it's going to be one of the best things that you ever do. And funnily enough, I just had a conversation with Loretta, probably not in our last session, but the session before. And I had a realization that even when I was teaching Pilates and how I said it was such a healing journey for me, I realized that I feel like I was connecting into that Reiki energy even before I knew what it was and before I started practicing it. And it wasn't until I was having those same experiences and I was teaching again, and I realized that I had been connecting into that Reiki energy the whole time. So that was pretty mind-blowing as well.
Yay.
And that's my experience. So I don't only share it through you know, just a healing where we're laying and receiving, which is amazing as well, but I actually really like to share it through movement too.
So good.
Yeah, that's my experience with Reiki.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. And I love that. I love that we, when we had that conversation about accessing that energy, because it's what happens when we are in that state of awareness. You're way more open to those sorts of things, right? I think learning Reiki as well feels very much, for many people, many students talk about this, that when they learn Reiki, it actually feels like they've done it before. Like this, it feels like home, you know, and it's putting the 3D meaning to it, the grounding and anchoring meaning and understanding, and that real logic behind it and the practical aspects about it. And really that way we get to understand it. And in understanding it properly, we also get to, and in the practicalities of it, we actually get to use it in certain ways, right? And really start to harness its energy and its power. And that's really the beauty of it. I also just wanted to say that, so Helen, Laura and Shirley is currently doing her mastership, and Laura and Helen graduated a little while ago, but you don't have to do that. And like, you know, they all told you they signed up and not even having the idea that they're going to go through the mastership. Even just studying level 1 gives you access to all that magic, right? Level 1 is really the tip, I guess, of the iceberg. It's the self-healing, just being able to hold that space for loved ones as well, which is so powerful. Really, really powerful gift to be able to do that for our loved ones. Pets, to be able to do it on our homes and our spaces, on your car, on your plants and your crystals, you know, and doing Reiki on everything and anything that belongs to you and around you. And it really is, level 1 is really about that self, that development of the self and getting to know the self and reconnecting with the self and the truth. And level 2 is when we move into that deeper level. So it's much more about connecting. You learn much more about the quantum energetics, quantum healing, learn about how to actually facilitate distant Reiki, so virtual or non-face-to-face. So that's also really beautiful. It's been such a gift during COVID and lockdown as well. And also to be able to do things like tonight, like how beautiful to be able to hold this space for all of you guys virtually as well. It is the practitioner level. So when you study level 2 with me, we really delve into how to support you as a practitioner, whether or not you're wanting to have a business. It's even just having the support on how to consult after a session, like how to actually put it into words and how to really empower your client and how to give it meaning and how to support your client through whatever it is that you've been experiencing with them. It's about also having a business, you know, and you get all the support around that as well. So it's like a business course too. And as a coach as well, I really help you guys through all of that stuff too, through level 1 and level 2. And each course also takes you deeper into crystal healing as well. So level 1, we do the introduction to crystals. Level 2 is much more on a deeper level, and you learn how to use some tools and how to transmute energy with different tools and things like that. And then level 3A is the ascension. So it is actually a much, much deeper level of healing. We really go beyond just this realm and we start exploring past lives, ancestral patterns, really healing the soul on all levels and really understanding the soul. Really starting to play at that real deeper, much deeper level. It's a lot of fun. And then, of course, the mastership, which is really about, it is the master teacher level, but it is really that self-mastery. It is the journey of self-mastery. So they're basically the different levels through the Reiki programs that I offer. And if you guys have specific questions, I'll send an email with more information after tonight with the replay and all that kind of stuff. But if you have any questions in particular, please feel free to pop them in the chat, or if you wanted to ask away, or you can always just get in touch with me and I'm more than happy to have a chat with you or whatever. But now I think it's a beautiful time to get into a healing. What do you all think? Yay. So if you want to I'll give you like a minute or so just to get really comfy. And if you guys want to, feel free to lay down. You can switch off your cameras if you want. This is really just a time for you guys just to chill and let go, and you can set an intention at the start if you want to. All I'm going to ask of you is just to have that open mind, you know, and I'm going to guide you through with the practice at the beginning. And if you feel anything, great. If you don't, great. It doesn't matter either. That's the beauty of Reiki. It just, you know, it's much more wiser than we are. So whatever your experience is, it's exactly perfect, exactly as it needs to be. If anyone has any questions after it, feel free to stay on and ask away, or you can get in touch afterwards as well. Okay. I'm going to share my music here. Okay. Amazing. Okay. So I'll get you guys to close down your eyes. Just getting yourself into a relaxing position. You can be seated or laying down. I want you to place your hands on your heart center. That's exactly where we're going to be connecting through to you tonight. Just taking a deep breath in for me. Letting your belly rise. And as you exhale, just letting go. Just letting yourself relax. And taking another deep breath in and out. And this time as you inhale, just bring your awareness to your heart center. That center of love, the center of unconditional love. Just be open to receiving unconditional love. And even if you don't believe it, just being open to the possibility that you are worthy of it. Open to the possibility that you are an expression of love. And it is through love that we have access to transform. We have access to everything that we want to co-create. You have access to your highest potential. All that you truly are. Love and magic. Remember, you are a being of vibration, the highest frequency of unconditional love. So let yourself go. Let yourself vibrate at this highest level. Be open to receiving all that you are worthy of receiving. You are limitless. Your potential is limitless. Letting yourself be held now. Letting yourself let go and trust. Trust in love.
Some say our hearts float on the wind. Oh, I am free. My home is with you.
Now just coming back to your breath.
Some say our hearts float
Just
on
bring
the
your focus back to your breathing.
Oh, I am free. My home is with you. Some say our hearts float on the wind.
And slowly bring your awareness back to your physical body now. Starting to move around. Slowly coming back out of vibration into the physical. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. If you feel like you want to continue joining us, or you can take this time for yourself. It's really normal to have things come up during a healing session. Thoughts, feelings, even body sensations. Feel free to take the time to note them down or to sit with that. And thanks everyone so much for joining us tonight. So special, first new moon of the year. If you had any questions about the healing or about Reiki in general, please feel free to write in the comments or in the chat if you want to. Otherwise, I'll just take this time and I want to say special thank you to Helen and Laura and Cherylee. Thank you so, so much. That was so beautiful to share that energy with you guys. It was really special to do that with you tonight. And I'll be sending through their details if any of you would like to get in touch with any of these beautiful practitioners as well. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you could hopefully feel something and you're able to enjoy it. Thanks so much, everyone. Feel free to read as well. I'll be sending that through shortly. Bye. Good night and happy new moon. Bye.